all of the serious business should have been done right when that window opened up. When everybody was using the excuses. Oh, well, it's only the first 30 days of June. Remember that one, JB? Oh, it's only the first few days. This is the first window. The World Cup. You know, we can wait. We can wait. Well, now all of a sudden that's passed. Everybody's going out buying, and people are starting to throw out Lookman. But I'll throw this your way too. Me and Kenny had a conversation this morning. I said this: Newcastle are going to have to go find a replacement for Isak. So whatever they can get their hands on, they're going to be trying to go for that as well. So all of these players are starting to get dry. The well is starting to dry up now. And so now we're looking around, scrambling and scrounging, and people are starting to look and realize, well, we're still a few players short. We're technically about 3 injuries away from being back to the same team as last season. Nobody wants to bring that up. Nobody wants to address that. Nobody wants to address the fact that we are 3 or 4 injuries right back to the square. If Gyökeres was to pull a hamstring next week, guess who's the starting striker? And then if the one behind that comes down, guess who's the midfielder that's coming back up there to be a striker again? It's the same team over and over. All of this is done because what we have done in the past is finally catching up with us.
So who do you want though?
For me, it doesn't even matter because this is the final year for me, and either way it goes.
No. Don't do the don't matter thing. Who do you want though? Because Dan's question, no one's answered Dan's question. Dan was talking about Eze, and you lot are talking about other things.
Wait. I'm going to answer the question. You're asking me a question that I've literally just told you. Eze's probably not coming here because he's not sitting behind anybody. He's going to want to play because he wants to be in the World Cup. Then the second person, Rodrigo, if we really wanted Rodrigo, we would have had first dibs at him when the window opened. He was right there. Do you want Eze though? Do you want Eze? It doesn't matter to me.
We need both. Dave, we need both.
At this stage,
I agree with that. But I want to know, do you think we should try and sign Eze though? That's what I'm asking. I don't know if you think we should.
100%.
If we're genuinely interested in the player, and there's mutual agree, everybody's on the same page, and the money's there, go for it. But see, go on. If we really wanted the player, at this stage of the game, we would have went for him. This is like leaving it too late. We're leaving it too late again. This is a habit we've been doing for the last few years. Why does Arsenal wait until the 11th hour?
We didn't wait. The whole point was we signed players early. That's the whole point. We signed Madueke early. We signed.
But you're asking me right now, do I want Eze Rodrigo?
No, that's not. No, I didn't ask you that. I didn't say do you want Eze Rodrigo. I asked you, do you want Eze? And the reason why I'm asking you that is because you're saying that we're waiting, and I'm saying this summer we actually didn't wait. We actually bought players. You just don't like the players that we bought. That's the point I'm making.
Yeah, but do you know what? Do you know what the difference is though, D? Right, is what me and Matty are talking about is get your priority signings in first. What Arsenal did was we went and got squad fillers first. Yeah, so. The likes of Eze,
our first signing.
Hang on. The likes of Eze, the likes of Rodrigo, yeah, they should have been the first ones coming in because they're going to make a difference between Arsenal winning and not winning the league. Then the squad fillers should come in.
We should have been unveiling them.
I agree with that. I do agree with that. But I think the point you're missing is we did do that with certain players. So we did it with, say, for example, Zubimendi, and we did do it with Gyökeres. Like Gyökeres obviously was a lot harder. He was going through a gentleman's agreement. We know that can't be done in the first week of the summer or whatever. But we did do it with a couple of the signings. I understand that you're saying the Eze deal and stuff like that. But what I'm saying about the Eze deal is what I want to know is if you want him, like us, man, I'm talking about us on the panel, then you can't be annoyed at Arsenal for trying to get him. You're saying we're waiting, but I'm saying you're assuming
but now it's at the expense that you want. That's the problem. Those players are fine, but now it's at the expense of Eze that you would take, Lookman that you would take, Rodrigo that you would take. That's who you want. That's who you want. Okay, you would want Madueke over those wingers that I mentioned. You would want Madueke.
No. You're not understanding. I'm not saying whether or not who's better. I'm saying if you're saying we're waiting to the last minute, I'm saying we haven't waited to the last minute. If Arteta thinks that Madueke
to the expense of certain players, which is why we're underbidding because it seems like we ain't got the P's. When this club told us getting Madueke will not stop us getting Eze, then why are we underbidding? We knew what the price tag was.
But Eze hasn't gone to anyone yet.
He hasn't. But when he does, and we're underbidding, then what's the excuse then? We've seen this.
No, but we're not there yet. No, we're not there yet.
Okay, so we'll judge it when we're there. And this is the problem with this club.
That's
but
the
this
point
is the
making.
problem with this club, though, D, yeah? The problem with this fan base, yes, we'll judge it when things go sideways. Last season, when we said the bench wasn't good enough, oh, yeah, why are you not complaining? We'll judge it when the league is done. When the league is done, it's too late. Do you know what the biggest problem with Arsenal? We're reactionary instead of proactive. That is the biggest gripe I have about this club.
But we haven't been that this year, though.
Believe. When we said that Havertz ain't good enough. This is the same fan base that told us if you can't see what Havertz is doing, you can F off down the lane. This is the same fan base that then changed that around and say we need a top goal scorer. Hold on. Let me land my point. Let me land my point.
Stick to the topic, though.
Let me land my point then, and then you can.
No, but you cutting me though. You cut me in. No, but you cut me.
Okay, I won't cut you in no more. I'll let you land my point. I'll shut up. Yeah, let me land my point. I won't cut you up no more.
Yeah, go on.
The same fan base that told us, yeah, if you can't see what Havertz is doing, is the same fan base that in January were crying out for a goal scorer, and we told them that Havertz wouldn't be enough. They wanted to wait and see with Havertz. We didn't win the league again. The same fan base that told us Zinchenko is pivotal to the way that we play football is now the same fan base that said that Calafiori is going to unlock Martinelli, which is now the same fan base now that are all behind Skelly. We move. The same fan base that told us that Kivior is going to be one of the best defenders because Juventus were in for him are the same fan base that I'm more than happy for Kivior to be sold, which we've been trying to sell him since January. The same fan base that told us that Martinelli is on par with Saka is the same fan base that's saying we need to get him off the wage bill because he's way too much money and he's not actually been of the level. The same fan base that was saying you can't see what Jesus is bringing to the team as the same fan base that now don't even want him starting. The same fan base that told us that Fabi Vieira is going to be a baller. So we've been waiting and seeing behind everything this fan base has been saying along 5 years. So when we rebuttal what they say is because they've gone back. The majority of this fan base, I'm not saying necessarily you because I haven't heard your opinion for the last 5 years. This fan base, with everything that they've been saying, Fabi Vieira is going to be a baller. Lokonga is going to grow. ESR is going to be part of the youth squad. Oh, Runnison and Ramsdale is one of the best goalkeepers in the league. Oh, we're going to go with flipping re-signing Nketiah to 100k and Reece Nelson to 100k. These are all things that this fan base was behind and told us, wait, judge it later. Well, guess what? The late has now arrived. And 95% of the things that they've said, they now go back on. 2 years ago, we were calling out Odegaard, saying that Odegaard isn't good enough. The big games, they don't turn up. But the fan base were behind 70% of what he does within the season, saying, yo, you can't get better than Odegaard. Really? We've been calling for Eze for the last couple of years. We called for Elise, to be frankly honest. But what did the fan base say now? Oh, the narrative spun now. We need Eze as the final piece. And this is why this section of the fan base, yeah, called them out. Because you know why? They talk all this stuff about wait. At first, it was Fabi Vieira, Kivior, all these players, they're project players. They're going to grow together. Then when we're getting rid of the project players, oh, but they weren't good enough. Then when we get certain players that are going to unlock other players, oh, yeah, but we got Skelly now. But you weren't hyping Skelly. You were hyping Calafiori, saying that he's the Maldini of defenders. This is why we're sick and tired of the wait. They told us it took Klopp 4 years. This was the time frame that they gave us. It took Klopp 4 years. Phase 6. Can we not hold them accountable? They told us to wait. We have waited. We've actually waited over the time frame that they gave us. Now we can't judge. We couldn't judge in phase 1. We couldn't judge in phase 2. We couldn't judge in phase 3. Phase 4, we couldn't judge, but they told us it's a 4-year project. It's a youth project. Where's the trophies? They told us that these players are going to be pivotal. They told us these players are going to unlock other players. So when we're skeptical, it's because this whole waiting thing at Arsenal has not given us any big trophies. So now we've had enough. Now we can look back on it and say it's been 5 years now. We're on phase 6. We're not seeing anything different. And to be honest, before I let you go, D, and I won't cut you up anymore, why are we doing the same nonsense with the fullbacks that we were doing with Zinchenko? Why was Calafiori inverting? Atletico look absolutely rubbish against us. Do you know when they look dangerous? When we was doing the inverting thing. We conceded against Spurs. We did the inverting thing. We was actually all right. Calafiori's running across our box, putting us under pressure. We did this with Zinchenko and deemed it not good enough. Why are we going back to that? Why are we getting flipping Timber inverting as well, getting us under pressure? He lost the ball, didn't even track back. So when we're seeing the same nonsense that hasn't worked, we have reason and we actually have years of seeing the same nonsense to say, yo, this doesn't work. So our skepticism now is no longer about believing the manager. No. We can go back to phase 4. We can go back to phase 2. We can go back to phase 3 and say, yo, this ain't working. You're doing the same inverted stuff. I thought you went away from that when you played Kivior left back. I thought you went away from that. Lewis Skelly was playing well last season, but now you're exposing him. But the same way you exposed Zinchenko, that wasn't a fullback. Why are we doing the inverting thing again? It didn't work. And now teams have sussed us out. And you're exposing somebody that's not even a left back. So then people are saying, oh, believe again. The best players of preseason, the majority have been the young players. Why are you persistent playing Martinelli that's got no future that everybody's happy to get rid of? Show us something different. We had nothing different against PSG but long throw-ins. So why are you persistent again playing players that have no future at this football club? Why? They're not part of the future and they're not good enough to get over the line. So why are you playing them? People told us that we ripped up Tomiyasu's contract because he was injured. Then protect Zinchenko, protect Martinelli, hold them on the bench because they're not part of our future so that we can sell them. It's not making sense anymore. People want to make us go back to the things that haven't worked for us and told us believe. Why believing in what? I can't believe in something that's failed because it hasn't worked. We've given it time. It didn't work. So why are we reverting back to that?
And let me land this before I go. If Rice or Zubimendi get injured, you are telling me that after going into a 7th season with nearly £1 billion spent on it, Marino and Odegaard is going to take us to win the Premier League and the Champions League. And we're all meant to be happy and not question it.
That wasn't my point.
As for Eze, we've missed it. We
D,
should have.
D, let me ask you this, right? Because I know you want the back and forth.
Yeah, go on.
Madueke, right? Why do you think Arsenal decided to sign Madueke?
Because he thought that was the right player for the club.
No.
What do you mean why?
I like let me put this scenario to you, right? I believe that Arsenal were interested in Eze, right? I believe they probably did look at Eze as a player that, you know, the manager maybe identified as somebody who could help with low blocks and etc. He had a release clause, right? A release clause means that the football club, who owns the player, i.e. Crystal Palace, is going to want the full release clause up front, or in a minimum of maybe 2 installments, right? Arsenal, because of our financial situation and because of how poorly we've sold over the years and because of how our wage structure is, we can only do big deals on a Klarna team. So it was easy to sign Madueke because Chelsea are quite happy for us to pay them 10, 15 million pound a year for the next 4 to 5 years. Crystal Palace would not be happy selling their main asset on a Klarna team, mate. Yeah, trust me, they would want big money up front, which is why Arsenal have waited so long for that release clause to expire in order to try and get a cheaper deal for Eze. But now Spurs have come in, and Spurs, we know, are flush with cash, right? They are flush with cash, right? And they can go and pay more up front for Eze than what we can. So the whole point that we're trying to make is, if Arsenal were desperate for Eze, why did we prioritise Madueke over Eze? Why didn't we get Eze first and then do a deal for Madueke? Let me tell you why. Because Arsenal's financial situation is diabolical and we have to do big deals on a Klarna team. That's
exactly. So that's the point. That's the whole point. That's exactly my point. That's exactly.
So it's all well and good you sitting here and saying, well, you know, we should be happy that the club are.
But you should. But you've just said it. You should understand why it's happened. Then you should understand why it's happened. That's what you've just laid it all out. So you should understand exactly why we've done it that way. I don't understand. You've just literally said it all.
Yeah, I have just said it all. But what I'm saying is that right?
But what I'm saying is, even if there was a different manager here, it wouldn't make no difference. What difference would these deals have made? The deals would have been the same.
But it's because it's because
have Havertz as our highest.
You're right.
I'm talking about a new manager now. I'm talking about if we've got a new manager in right now, Havertz is still at the club, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, and we wouldn't be. And we would also be paying our youngsters that even you can agree have been playing better than players that have been under this manager for years and are not turning out the performances that the youngsters coming through the academy are performing. How is Ethan playing better than Odegaard? How is Dauman a better developed player that's just come through the youth academy, better than Martinelli that's been under this manager for years? How's that happening? How is flipping Jesus and Havertz falling off the way that they've fallen off. Havertz ain't turned up. Don't get fooled by that goal. He don't turn up in the big games. He don't turn up in the big games. He don't turn up when we need him. Let's just keep it 100. Yeah, okay, you can say right now if we add them, but guess what? If a manager had the time that this manager had, yeah, Havertz wouldn't be our highest earner. Jesus wouldn't be our second highest earner. Martinelli wouldn't be on 180k. We wouldn't be re-signing Nketiahs and Reece Nelson to 100k, which is why we can't get rid of Reece Nelson to Fulham, because they're like, we're not paying 100k because the smaller teams have clued up. They're not stupid like we are, that we put players on stupid wages. When you look at our wage bill, yeah, there's players that have won multiple titles at Liverpool, not on the wages that some of our players are on, and they ain't won nothing. They ain't won nothing. So all of this has been created. When you mentioned about, oh, but we're trying to rectify the mistakes. Okay, then get rid of Zinchenko. Okay, then get rid of Kivio. Okay, sell Martinelli. Okay, get rid of Jesus. Okay, get some money in for Havertz. These are your mistakes. Get rid of Lokonga and Fabi Vieira. If you want to rectify your mistakes, get rid of them, because a top manager wouldn't have signed them, because he would have already known these ain't the guys. These are not the guys to push us forward. We're not rectifying our mistakes. I was on a stream
last week on this same panel, and everyone was telling me Zubimendi wasn't that good. This is the same type of panel. Everyone was telling me Zubimendi wasn't that good. He's not an upgrade.
Who told you that?
Norgard's not a good signing. Jorginho's better than
Norgard. Is not a good signing. Norgard is not a good signing.
All right, so Norgard's a terrible signing now as well. Is Zubimendi a good signing?
No, average signing. No, there's not just terrible. There's other words. It's called.
All right, how about Zubimendi? How about Zubimendi?
Zubimendi looked really good. I put him as a man of the match against Bilbao, but he has to prove it in the Prem. I think that's fair.
Yeah, it's fair.
Gyökeres, very good signing. That was exactly the striker that I wanted. When this club does what I want them to do, I praise them.
All right, fine. And what I'm saying is now, yeah, Eze hasn't gone anywhere yet, has he? He's not gone anywhere. He's still at Crystal Palace. So the point is, I don't know if we're saying we shouldn't go for Eze, or if we're saying we want Eze, because everyone keeps saying, "Oh yeah, what we did made mistakes in the past, and we did this," but I don't know what that's got. I want to know whether people want
not one person has said that I want Eze. What we've done, we've analysed what we got in front of us in terms of, and we've, as a balanced panel, we talked about the obstacles. Not one person doesn't want Eze. Everyone
this panel's not balanced, by the way. But yeah, go on.
I actually agree with that. That's my bad.
But you think balance is all about manager in and manager out. But in this subject, we have been balanced. We've all looked at we all analysed the reasons why it's a competition between Spurs and Arsenal. Just because we're saying that he's more likely to get first team football at Spurs doesn't mean we don't want Eze. Just because I've said on many occasions we've got to sell players in order to get the deal over doesn't mean we don't want Eze. These are just footballing facts. The fact is that all this not garbage and rubbish we hear from a lot of people that, oh, forget about PSR. It's financial madness. It was always a situation that we were always going to be short of our targets if we don't sell players. It doesn't make sense.
What realistic first-team football on a regular basis is Eze going to get at Arsenal? Whereas if he goes to Tottenham, he's going to get probably regular first-team football because of Maddison, Kulusevski's situation.
He'll play on the left.
No. He's not going to play on the left.
But then what's the point in Madueke?
That's the point I was making earlier, Brandon. That's the point I was making earlier, Brandon.
Listen, let me finish my point. He's not going to play on. Well, that is a turn off for Eze, because if Eze thinks he's coming to play on the left, Eze knows that is not his position. He knows that. Every single Crystal Palace fan will tell you Eze's position is not the left. Right? If I'm Spurs and I go to Eze, right, you're going to play in the 10, we're going to build the team around you, you're going to take the role of Maddison, right? Everything's going to go through you, blah, blah, blah. He's going to think, World Cup year, wow. On the other side of the coin, he's having a chat with Arsenal and they're going to say, you're going to be our main left winger. He's going to think, hang on a minute, I don't really like it on the left. I'm not really comfortable on the left. This is what you've got to understand. He's going to, people in the chat said, why would he pick Spurs over Arsenal? And I get that. And I'm saying to you, from a player's perspective, where are you going to play at the latter end of your career the most games? Are you going to Arsenal to sit on the bench, be a squad player, or are you going to go Spurs and be a main player? Because he ain't going to play on the left. Madueke's playing on the left.
And JB, that's on the and that's we're in a World Cup year.
I don't even know what's going on there.
He's 27 years old. Hey, D, he's 27 years old. He's 27 years old, and this is probably going to be his one shot to probably get to a World Cup. And he's going to have to be playing to get into a World Cup. If he comes to Arsenal, if he comes to Arsenal, and we spent 50 million on Madueke, we spent 50 million on a player to just sit on the bench. That's what we've done. Is that not what you are? Is that not what you did? You not say last year our bench wasn't strong enough? Is that not what you said? Is that not someone made earlier? Listen, you see, you completely missed what I said. You completely missed what I said. We spent 50 million for a player to sit on the bench.
What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that?
In that, I rest my case.
How
What's wrong
with
No.
Hey,
I rest your case. Answer the question.
I rest my case. So you're telling me you would rather take. Wait a minute. You're telling me you would rather take the 50 million we paid on Madueke instead of sitting that 50 million aside and then applying that money to a player like Rodrigo. That's what you're telling me.
That's not what you said.
No, but you said. But see, you completely missing my point. I said 50 million for a player to sit on the bench. That's what I said. And then you want to go. No, I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to use the point about us saying last year that the team was not strong enough to make your point to try to hammer home and win. But I'm telling you, the 50 million that we paid for Madueke could have been used to go to a player that was better to go in that position and start and be ready to go when the season starts.
And I said to you, like who? I said this before you started doing your whole little
you could go get Rodrigo. I just said if you take the 50 million, if you take the 50 million that we pay for Madueke instead of buying Madueke, when the window opens, you go to Rodrigo. When they're over there having problems over Real Madrid, put the money on the table, the man's playing. But you want to keep going back to this argument about over and over about sitting here talking about Eze. And I'm telling you, the problem is we spent the money early, and what we should have been doing, we should have bought the players that we needed earlier, and we would have had those players here. We wouldn't even be talking about this.
All right, let me come in here. Right?
What, are you assuming that we didn't go for Rodrigo?
So what I'm going to say, D, right, is I think what you're about to.
Why is he go? Why City linked to him?
When you said Madueke, what's wrong with paying 52 million or whatever it was you said, right? I don't think there's anything wrong with spending 52 million on Madueke if Eze comes in and Rodrigo comes in alongside it. If Madueke, we're spending 52 M's on him and that prevents us from getting Eze or Rodrigo or both, I will have serious concerns with that. Would you agree with that, D?
Yeah, of course. But that's not what they're saying. These lot are just saying the same thing over and over and over. It's like you got a script. At the end of the day, we're in the summer window. We've signed two players that are top players. Now you've got a Madueke on the pitch that you're thinking, okay, we don't want him to play. But if we do get Eze, then what you're gonna say then? No, your whole argument's debunked, isn't it? If we do end up signing a left winger or another player, your whole argument is debunked. But your argument is now before the summer window's even over. I don't understand. You're just moaning before the window's even over. You don't even know
who's
we're gonna get Eze.
Who's moaning? You describe moaning because I haven't moaned.
I've heard. If this is not moaning, then I don't know what moaning is. Bro.
I haven't moaned.
No, you ain't moaned personally. You ain't moaned personally. But I've heard moaning today.
Eze's not a left winger, Dave. Eze's not a left. This
he's not a left winger, but he's a better left winger. He's a better left winger than what we've got.
He's not a left winger.
He's better than what we've got on the left wing, though, isn't he? He's better than Martinelli left, and he's better than Madueke left, isn't he?
So you want better than what we've got, which is our overall point. We want better than what we've got. If we get better than what we've got, we want starters. Eze is a starter, right? It's because if I ask you right now, D, who's winning the league? Can you answer me that, D? Who's winning the league?
I would say Liverpool. Obviously, I've got a stream now. I've got a stream to do. I've got to go. But I think Liverpool are probably favourites. And then I would say us and Man City and Chelsea are kind of in a battle between each other.
So why are we not favourites?
Because Liverpool are.
Have we not done enough in the transfer window to be favourites?
Not yet. We still need to get maybe a left winger.
Exactly what we're talking about, though.
It's not exactly what you're talking about because you're trying to get Eze. Are you? I don't understand if.
We're trying to get Eze. Do you know why? Do you know why I'm skeptical? Because we tried to get Rafinha. We didn't get Rafinha. No, hold on. We tried to get Rafinha. We never got Rafinha. We tried to get Eze, Isak. We never got Isak. We tried to get Buendia. We didn't get him. Yeah. We tried to go out there and get Mudryk, even though God Thank God we didn't get Mudryk. We didn't get him. We tried to get Benzema back in the day. We tried to get Draxler. We've seen the story before. We tried to get Houssam Aouar. There's a reason why we're skeptical when it comes to this club, because there's multiple signings that we could have got.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
We was ahead of the race. Remember, Rafinha was supposed to come to us. Rafinha was supposed to come to us after Leeds, but who went in the race? Oh, because we took our time. And we've taken our time with Eze. And every time we take our time, most of the time, we miss out on targets that we would all take at this football club. That is where our skepticism comes from. They said, look how quickly they got Norgard over the line. Look how quickly they got these players over the line. Meet the valuation. If the club are being genuine, they told us the Madueke deal would not hinder the Eze deal. Don't go in with 52 million. It reminds me of Suarez, 40 million and £1. Go in there with at least 60 plus million with add-ons or performance add-ons. Be serious. So when we're talking about, we've seen, all of us here have seen us take our times with signings and not get them over. Once upon a time, we were supposed to go in for Basuma. He went to Spurs. These are just numerous players that we were supposed to be in for and we didn't get it. We were supposed to be linked to Hato. He's gone to Chelsea. There's multiple players that we were in for before other teams. And what did we do? Drag our feet. And then we didn't get over the line.
I don't mean to cut you because I actually have to go. I've got a stream now. I'm late. But what I'm going to do, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of you lot. We'll just do 5v5 because you lot think that you know what I mean. You got your way of thinking. I actually enjoy it, by the way. So you lot think you got your way and that. I've got a whole set of people that think the way I think as well. So we could just go fight. Have any of you lot got your coaching budget? Have any of you lot got your coaching budget, by the way? Like, honestly, I'm actually being serious.
Bring it on.
Is one of them Miguel?
Have anyone got their coaching badges or play or whatever?
Nah.
No, okay, cool. So I'm gonna bring.
I'm just saying my opinion, D, bro. I'm just saying my opinion.
I know, but I'm gonna bring my opinion, and I'm gonna bring serious.
But D, I've been in your
position,
bro. I've been in your position. Last season, I was on.
You know what it is. I listen. I actually enjoy all this. This is what I like. But the thing is, it's hard for me to go back and forth when I'm. You know, if there's like 5 people and you say the same thing, then you say something, I've got to wait, and then someone says that. It's harder for me to go back and forth. You know what I'm saying? So. But we'll see, man. I'll be back next week. I'll bring it. Kenny, we'll go for what? See, Kenny's the only one that's enjoying it. Kenny's the only one that said, yeah, with passion. You lot scared. That's what I'm saying.